Uh, another compelling basketball game, really competitive game, and our guys have seemed to find a way to be in there. With all these home games that we said, out with the short of Old Dominion, we've been there. And from a competition standpoint, we're up with 2 minutes to go once again, and the difference is they executed down the stretch. We didn't. We didn't get a couple key stops we needed to get. Or an offensive rebound here, and they made a couple of tough plays, and we had a couple fall short, free throw miss here or there. You can pick and choose on the things that set you back, but it seems to be just one little thing, two little things, or one possession here, or a missed box out here. Seem to be tiny things that ends up adding up, over the course of the game. So once again, they competed. They beat us on the glass. It's something I was a little bit disappointed with. Got too many offensive rebounds. Harvey really hurt us on the inside as well when we went small, and bothered us some on the offensive glass. And then, once again, we've talked about it, ad nauseum this year, is that turnovers. We have 26 points off our turnovers, and it's hard to overcome that. It's hard to overcome that, and we talked about slow starts. That slow start, that bang, 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 they go up 9-0, on 3 threes to start out before we ever get our seats warm. But they, once again, to our guys' credit, they fought themselves all the way back. Worked as hard as they could to get themselves back in the ball game. And John and Andrien were fantastic, and really proud of the way they played, the way they competed. They tried to put us on their backs tonight, and I thought they played really well. They just had a little bit more balance than we did across the board. But still, from a defensive standpoint, we worked. I thought our kids worked. There's a couple miscues. They just, we're supposed to go under a handoff here, or trail a ball, or fight over a ball screen, or switch a ball screen, and a couple we just made a bad decision on, and just didn't execute the play. And when you're playing in a game that's so tight, you can't. Every possession becomes so valuable. Every defensive possession, every offensive possession, you can't afford to make those mistakes, especially down the stretch when you got yourself in a position to win. And unfortunately, we've been in a situation where we hadn't won any, and it's hard, hard really to feel like those guys can step up and do it. And they didn't have to, we got Austin standing there with a wide open three at the top of the key to, put us back up, and he shoots it about 5 feet over the goal, and just plays like that you got to make and win in time. And we just didn't do that. But still, once again, I sit up here as proud as I can be of their effort. They competed their tails off. Our crowd was good tonight. I'm thankful for them and the support they gave us. And I wish I could win one for them. They're playing hard to put themselves in position, and hopefully Saturday night we can find a way to get that flipped around. I think you could summarize it as that at a point. I think they still are playing the game, and they still just need to keep playing, and they need to play like it's 2 minutes in instead of 2 minutes left, and sometimes when it gets down the stretch, we might tighten up a little bit, and because of the way things are going tonight, sit and watch John and Andrien play instead of being the one to step up and make a play, and execute our stuff that we're trying to do. And at times we broke it off late tonight and tried to make an extra play instead of just trusting our offense and trusting what we try to do. And at the end of the game, I think that's critical. That's when you got to be at your peak execution-wise. And we didn't do that tonight on either end the last couple minutes. Like I say, we're up 2.5 to go, and they go on an 8-0 run to put us away right there, and we didn't answer that. So it could be that. It could be that we didn't know how to finish it. I'd love for them to have great games, but I'd love for them to have support too, so they feel like they can give it up, or they can make a play, and somebody else is going to go make a play for them. But John was in a mode tonight where he felt like he just needed to take over. Andrien was during a stretch there too, and Andrien, Andrien went through a stretch where he took the game over, and then John went through a stretch, so where he took the game over and brought us back, and so he was just trying to play out the string. They want to win as bad as anybody, and they feel like at times they need to take the game over to put us in a position to do that. I thought both of them, played really well. We got ourselves a couple fouls on all those guys early. We had to, mix up our lineups a little bit, but we didn't get, the production inside we need to get to complement those guys. And I think what they have 4 guys in double figures, a little bit better balance there than us, and we didn't turn it over as much, but the turnovers we had were crucial. I want it so bad for those guys. That's what I told them in the locker room. I want it so bad for them, and the key is they got to want it just as bad for themselves. They got to want it worse than I do to do that. Now, they've given us no reason to believe they're going to give up or they're going to stop playing. They've done that all year long. It's just a matter of busting the door down, trying to get one Saturday, and hopefully give the seniors a chance to, Corey and Austin, to go out with a win. We talked about this tonight. There's no pressure on them. Just go play. There's nothing on the line tonight. That it's There's no trip to the tournament on the line. Just go out and play. Enjoy playing with each other. We got a couple times left to do that. Go go out and enjoy the experience. And that's what we'll come in here tomorrow, and they'll practice, and they'll pay attention, and we'll get a scouting report in. And that's one thing I wanted to say earlier tonight when we were speaking to a group earlier, is that our coaches have coached just as hard as they were if we were playing for first or second place. Our scouting report was about 5 pages thick, just detail after detail after detail. These guys have worked extremely hard, hard hours, because they want those guys to win badly too. And that's as a coach, that's difficult, because you are putting, Andre poured over film, for this game tonight. Tanner will pour over film for the game Saturday, and we're going to coach them just as hard as we would if a tournament bid was on the line. And I think that's what you're supposed to do. That's what we're put in this place for, to continue to do our job until our job's over. And it's their job to continue to play until the season's over. And I have no reason to believe they won't.